Hey guys, welcome to episode 1 of my new podcast. You can catch me at dewanbayney.com. Gonna do a quick introduction of myself for those of you that don't know me. I've been working online for the last 2 years or so full-time, and been working online for about 7 years total. Moved to Vancouver approximately 3 years ago to pursue my passion of music, which ended up leading me down a fun path, which I'll get to later. Ended up working for a tech company for close to 2 years, worked my way up as operations manager there. Decided I wanted to become an entrepreneur full-time, left my corporate job, which I don't suggest anybody doing. It's crazy. You should build your business prior to doing that. But yeah, basically left my corporate job, and in the last 2 years have had made a full-time income, really. For those of you not on YouTube right now taking a look here, I've also got my buddy Dalton, who is a 6-figure internet marketer. We met about 6 months ago. Dalton also has a publishing company, and I think his top month was close to 11K, right? Something like that.
That's correct. Yeah, a little over 11K.
Yeah, which is awesome. Dalton's a young guy, and like I said, a close friend. So to kind of kick it off, the point of this podcast, honestly, is it just gives us an opportunity to kind of share behind the scenes of what online entrepreneurs go through. Again, myself and Dalton talk on Skype quite often. We figured it'd be smart to maybe start recording some of these and help people out. So to kind of, like I said, kick it off, other than that, my businesses that I've had, like I said, I run a publishing company right now. I've got a record label as well. And I do coaching for internet marketing and brand development. Funny enough, I don't have a online brand, and it's been kind of a commitment for 2015 to kick it off for myself. I'll be starting off a blog and my own personal website, dewanbayney.com. For those of you tuning in now, today's January 19th, 2015. I literally have no subscribers. I have no email list. My YouTube channel, I think, has about 1,200 people. And my Facebook channel has, I think, 2,000 likes total. So really, I'm starting from nothing. And the end goal is to go from $0 to $100,000 in less than 12 months. Yeah, ultimately, my blog is going to be a case study and to show you exactly how you can take your passions and monetize it to make a full-time income. Now, the reason why Dalton's on the show, Dalton will hopefully be on at least once a week.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. As long as we're both alive, I think that should be our commitment. Dalton's actually a coaching client of mine as well. That will be and he's been happy enough to share his progress openly on YouTube as well as our podcast. And it's really going to give any new marketer a chance to learn how and what it takes to build a 6-figure blog. So with that said, Dalton, I'll maybe hand it off to you. You can introduce yourself, talk about kind of what's going on. We'll go from there.
Okay, so my name is Dalton. I live in Pennsylvania. If you don't know, that's in the United States, and if you don't know that, I should wake up. But I've always heard about internet marketing, and like about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I found this guy, Stefan Palernos. He has a good blog. You guys should check him out, Project Life Mastery. I went on to him, followed all his stuff. He had a course on Kindle, which led me into publishing books on Amazon. I've been doing that for a little over a year now. First 6 months, not too successful. Then after that, I was able to really start ramping it up. So as of right now, I have 250 books published, making me a passive income of anywhere from like $8,000 to $11,000 a month consistently. So that's generally where I'm at, but I also have a blog, achievingpeakpotential.com, which is why my friend Dewan over here is going to help me, because I'm okay with the book stuff, but when it comes to brand building, this guy over here knows what he's talking about. I don't. And that's why today I went to him and said, hey, Dewan, I'm not committed enough. I need to make a commitment. So what do you think about making me like a case study and doing this? And my friend over here was glad enough to take me on. That's taking me on for anything is a commitment. I'll tell you something.
Yeah. It should be fun. And that's kind of like a nice, interesting background. On my end, I like I said, I've got about 7 years worth of online experience. So I've done everything from drop shipping, affiliate marketing, selling my own products, digital products, physical products. I think pretty much everything I can think of, I've probably done. And yeah, so I do have a lot of experience. So what I'm going to do is just kind of kick it off into what I feel is the most important beginner stumbling block, and that is what niche to pick. And for those of you that don't know what a niche is, it's like a topic. So, to kind of give you an idea of what my blog will be about, ultimately, it's going to be, basically getting people's message out there. So, everybody's got a gift, everybody's got a passion, and I think it's really important to get it out there and share it with the world. What most people don't realize is that you can monetize that passion and you can monetize that message, and really live a life of fulfillment and be excited. My corporate job was a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, and it was a hustle, but ultimately it wasn't giving me a life of passion and purpose. And now I feel so fulfilled and so blessed to be able to work with guys like Dalton and other entrepreneurs that really have a message or a product or they just want to make a difference in the world. So let's kick it off with picking a niche. Dalton, can you talk about your niche that you picked in general?
Sure. I picked self-development. The reason I think I've been able to achieve so much in this short period of time, by the way, I'll be 23 in about 2 days. So happy early birthday, me.
Yeah, happy early birthday.
I think it's all like self-development, your mindset, and like it's the inner game before the outer game. So I like to share that message because it changed my life in such a big way. So I wanted to put my own spin on things and get my message out there in the self-development space. So that's why I chose self-development. There's a lot bigger of a story there, but we don't have 3 hours.
Yeah, I think that's good. So to kind of touch on the self-development point, I mean, it's great. I'm super excited. I already know it's an extremely profitable niche, but for people listening that haven't got started into marketing, here's kind of the 30,000 foot overview of how you should be picking a niche. And again, I'm going to disclaimer everything I say. I obviously there's going to be case by cases where it's going to be outside of these rules, but I'm going to try to be as general as possible. From my experience, the 3 kind of top niches are going to be in the health and wellness industries, the finance industries, so whether it's like debt or investing or income, and relationships. And relationships don't necessarily have to be romantic. They could be relationships with your children. It could be sales. It could be, it could be anything. Basically, any person-to-person stuff. And then the kind of like sideways one that I want to disclaimer as well is the hobby market. And kind of when we're looking at a market, the first thing I want to look at is there a large amount of buyers that are hungry for information? Not to say that you can't make money in other niches, but this is going to really set you up for success. Now, in Dalton's case with his niche, I happen to be a huge self-development person as well, and I know that a customer that's, I won't say going down the rabbit hole, but somebody that's really interested in self-development is not going to buy just one book, and they tend to be lifelong learners, which is great. So that means that the customer value over time is going to be quite high. I don't know what your experience level is right now that you're kind of sitting there listening, but start to think about the things that you spend your money on a daily basis. You might be an avid golfer, or you might be into knitting, or you might be, I don't know, into fixing cars. These hobbies or these, investment, you might be doing CrossFit, you might be doing some sort of sport. I don't know. These are all potentially places where you can make money. I'm going to use golf as an example because I think that's something that everybody can kind of relate to. Golf, you start off as a beginner golfer. You're going to need to get some sort of instruction, whether that you buy a book, whether you buy an informational course, where you get a coach. I don't know. You're going to need golf clubs. You're going to need a golf bag. You're going to need those fancy golf shoes. You're going to need that crazy hat that you buy golfing. But do you see what I mean? Like there's a progression for people to purchase. Whereas, I don't know, underwater knitting. I don't know if that's a sport or a hobby or
underwater knitting.
Yeah, underwater knitting. I don't know. It might be something that you're super passionate about, but there's probably not a ton of people in that market. So I've talked to Dalton prior, so I don't really need to hit this home for him on this part. But find a niche that there's a lot of questions to be answered or a lot of problems that can be solved, and that's going to kind of give you a good starting point. Now, moving forward from that, Dalton, I want you to talk about picking a problem that you want to solve for customers in the next year or so, because this is something critical. This is how you're going to get paid.
Okay, well, I'm not as good at defining everything as D1, hence why I'm here. But my pro basically what I want my blog to do, it's called Achieving Peak Potential. So I want to take people from where they are to where they want to go. But again, that's way too vague for me to use as a selling point, as D1 tells me consistently, which is true.
Yeah. So that's something he's going to work on hopefully by next week once we connect. But basically what he's touching on is that he wants to help transform people's lives.
It's a transformational blog. That's generally what it is.
Yeah. So there's absolutely money there. There are tons of opportunities to change people's lives, to add value to their lives and get paid along the way. So hopefully by next week, he's got a little bit more of a clear definition, modeling some of the more successful entrepreneurs out there that are in the space, guys like Tony Robbins. I
have a couple models I'm going to be using if you want me to throw those out there.
Yeah, please. Yeah, go ahead.
So a couple of people I wanted to model for my blog and some huge mentors of mine. As I said, I'm really big into self-development, so I could go on and on. But some of the ones I really like are Brian Tracy. I really like him because he has a lot of actionables, like instead of just it's all out there like in the sky, like his is do this, do this, do this, and you'll get this result.
Yeah.
That's what I want to get the message across in my blog, not just some like, if you believe it, you can achieve it. Like, I do believe that,
Yeah.
but I want to just throw that out there as like my content. I just want actual actionables. So Brian Tracy for that. Les Brown, he's an amazing guy. He's more of just the motivational speaker.
Sure.
And I really like that aspect. So like how he presents himself in front of a group of people, how he fills up a room, like for that, I definitely am looking at Les Brown. And then one of the guys D1 actually showed me, Brendan Burchard. He's an amazing guy. He's actually he's a pretty young guy too. I think he's in his like early 30s.
Yeah, I think he's in his 30s or something like that.
Yeah, and I just went through what was the course's name?
High Performance Academy, I think.
High Performance Academy, and it was amazing, and just the way he like combines, like he's like Tony Robbins combined with Brian Tracy, and I really like both those guys, but I think he has a nice combination. So those three guys are who I'll be modeling my content after, or my site, like how they
present. Yeah. Yeah, and that actually segues into a nice point here. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. I'm not saying by any means you need to be ripping off people's content, but all of our knowledge is going to be shared, and it's going to be presented in different ways. And as Dalton was saying, he may hear a piece of information from somebody, and it doesn't resonate with him, but he hears the exact same information from somebody else, and it blows his mind. And that's kind of a good point to think about is find a couple guys that you can model that are in your industry already, that are being successful, and they're going to be clues left behind about why these guys are successful. And quite honestly, just model their processes until you kind of grow your voice into your own.
Like you D1 said something to me that really hit home. Like everything's already out there. You can go on the internet and find anything. It's your voice that makes it different.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, like I might resonate with a certain segment of people that Tony Robbins may not resonate to, and likewise, I may, so don't worry about your content being super unique. Your only purpose really ultimately is to add as much value to people as you can, similarly to why we're doing this podcast right now. This is not new information, but by me putting out this information, I know I'm going to serve somebody somewhere, and that's all that really matters. And we're going to be adding value, and eventually we get paid for it. That's it. So in the niche area, and like I said, thank you for bringing up models. What you should be doing is once you've picked your general niche, you should try to find 2 or 3 of the absolute best people in the market. Don't look for mediocre people. Look for the rock stars, the guys that own 90% of the market share, 80%, or whatever it is, and really start studying them. Start registering for their newsletters. Start buying their products. Really get immersed in why these guys are successful. They're successful for a reason, and quite honestly, once you understand what makes one successful internet marketer or internet thought leader successful, you can see the steps that make other people successful. They tend to copy the same formula.
Definitely.
And then once you've found a niche that has competition, that's a good thing. So you don't want to be entering niches that have very little to no competition. I know people are looking for this like holy grail product that nobody's in the market, and you're going to get paid $1 zillion because nobody's competing. Like, it doesn't work that way. Find a competitive market, because a competitive market means there's already people buying, and there's already money flowing. You don't really have to create a new niche. Once you're super experienced, go for it. Create something that's way out there that nobody's ever heard of. But prior to that, enter a market that is, I don't want to say saturated, but something where there is a market that you can compete in.
Because it's about your voice. People will resonate with you. It's not that your message is out there. What you're going to say has already been said. It's about your voice in that market coming out.
That's it exactly. Okay, so we've got a niche, self-development. He's got a sort of defined problem. He's going to have to, go further on it. I had suggested to him in a previous coaching call that maybe he should break it into some sort of framework. Maybe looking at, hey, self-development for financial relationships, like personal character, finances. Again, he's got a Kindle course coming out shortly, where he's going to be sharing how he makes $11,000 or has made $11,000 in a single month and is making six figures. And then that kind of gives him a general topic, and then he can start breaking it down into specific problems where he can start solving people's problems. So that's great. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is picking your target market, and more specifically, your customer avatar. Now, for people that are not familiar with the customer avatar or have never heard
like
it before,
The Last Airbender?
Yeah, The Last Airbender, exactly. Go and sit and watch Avatar for the next 3 hours, and your business will be built. So your customer avatar, basically, you're trying to envision your absolute ideal customer so that you can solve that ideal customer's problem. I think too many of us are looking at a very general scale and trying to, make everybody happy and market to everybody on the planet. And, you're going to be pretty polarized on if you agree or disagree. But in my opinion, when you're selling online, you're selling to a single human being behind another computer. You're not selling to the person's family. You're not selling to a huge group. You're selling to an individual, the individual that's listening right now, whether on YouTube or iTunes or however you're consuming this. So knowing what your ideal customer is will give you the positioning to better serve them. So I can say on my blog, I'm targeting people that are looking for success, for health, for wellness. They're probably self-employed or wanting to become self-employed. They have a message they want to get out into the world. Maybe they don't know quite how to get it out. My guess is probably age 25 to 35, maybe a bit older, maybe young professional. Hopefully I'm not stereotyping too much, but that's the truth. You're going to have to kind of stereotype a bit. Their biggest pain is that they don't know where to start. They're overwhelmed. They wish they could have some passive income. They've heard about this passive income online, but don't know where to start. They're looking for a mentor. They're looking for information that they know they can trust from someone that's been there and done that. They don't want information overload. So I've got a long list of stuff here, but it's not about me. Ultimately, Dalton, can you maybe speak a little bit about what you think your ideal customer would be? And on that note, also, your ideal customer is also the person that's going to pay you the most at the end of the year. So really, what would be your absolute perfect customer in the perfect world?
Okay, my perfect customer in the perfect world. Putting me on the spot. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say between the ages of 21 and maybe 21 and 35. Male or female, probably more likely male. Sorry, ladies.
No, that's fine. Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't think anybody's going to get offended. The more specific you can be, it's important. And I'll get to something a little bit later in a marketing video about it. But please go ahead. Yeah, so male ages like 20 to 35-ish.
Mm-hmm. And definitely wants to be a lifelong learner.
Okay.
They know they're capable of more. They just don't know how to get there. They don't know the tools and the skills they need to learn. And they are actively trying to develop themselves, but they're stuck they're stuck at some point, and they need that little push or that little motivation to keep going. I think they also kind of, like you said, they don't have to be self-employed, but I would, my perfect customer would be someone who wants to work for themselves. I don't know, be aiming towards owning their own business and making their own brand, or having something that they built that, I don't know. It's just, I feel like if, again, this is the first time I'm saying this, so if it sounds unscripted, it's completely unscripted.
Yeah, completely.
I just think it's it would be someone who's looking to go from where they're at to where they want to be, like I said before. But it's just I think I think next time I'll write this out completely.
Yeah,
for
it's
our
good. I'm glad I'm putting you on the spot. It's great.
Yeah. I have no idea what I'm saying, but it's great.
Yeah. So just interesting.
Advice?
What's that?
Advice from me?
Yeah, I'm giving just interesting from coaching other people, and it's only after they think about it. Quite honestly, your perfect customer is actually you, and where
True.
you are, or where you were maybe a year ago, or 3 years ago, or 5 years ago. Especially if you're in the advice industry, where you kind of want to hang out with you. Like your perfect customer, it would kind of be me. I don't know. I'd love to have a beer with myself sometime. That'd be great. But no, it's true. Like your ideal customer might be in some shape or form you, or somewhere where you've been. But without a clear understanding of who your ideal customer is, your marketing efforts down the road might be different. As an example, I am consulting a buddy that's in real estate right now, and I'm helping him build a real estate blog. And they're bombarded by so many people daily trying to sell them on, hey, I should do this type of advertising, like Facebook advertising, or hey, you should be on Twitter, or you should be on Instagram. Quite honestly, their target demographic is not sitting there on Twitter looking for houses. Like, I'm sorry, it's the truth. So why waste your time marketing on Twitter or marketing on Pinterest or go where your ideal customer is, or at least know who your ideal customer is. And then at least that way you'll be able to market to them in a proper way. So, it's just kind of a key point to kind of get in your back of your mind. Your ideal end game is that you've got a picture on the wall that you've printed out from Google that is either a male or a female or whatever you decide. And every time you write an email or every time you write a blog post, you write as if you're writing to that person, like as if I'm talking to Dalton, or if I'm talking to whoever else, or I'm talking to you.
Can I name it whatever I want?
Whatever. You can name it Aliens if you'd like, Dalton. Yeah.
I will name it Aliens.
Yeah, your avatar's name is Aliens. Inside joke there. We'll pick that one up another day. So that kind of wraps it up. I don't want to go too far into this one. I think this is kind of like a good starting point. Myself personally, I have my blog is there's really nothing on it. I think I've got 10 blog posts that I've consolidated from other projects. And I'll be setting up blog posts as well as doing kind of video stuff like this. I'll be doing my own video podcast as well. I know this one was a bit off the script, but I kind of like it this way. I'm sure we're going to capture some really good conversations. To check us out, dewanbayney.com/subscribe. I'll have my toolkit there. Actually, I think what I'll end up doing is building out a how to pick a niche worksheet, and I'll have that up on the blog. Again, that's dewanbayney.com/subscribe. YouTube channel, youtube.com/dbayney. And I'll have the rest of my social media stuff. And if you've got any questions or enjoyed this, don't forget to hit like. And if you're on iTunes or that sort of thing, leave a 5-star review. That would be amazing. Other than that, we're going to shut it down, and looking forward to podcast number 2. Yeah, sure, shoot.
I want actionables for me for next week.
Yeah, okay. That's great. I was going to actually put
and you guys can take those home and do that too if you like. Yeah,
so in general, I would say brainstorm. I'm going to be a little bit more general because you're not the only person here listening, Dalton.
Understandable.
But I would say if you're looking to get started, start taking massive action right now. I want you to get out a pen and paper, write down 10 niches that you could potentially get into. And again, to kind of give you a bit of help, health and wellness, financial, and relationships tend to be the easiest to start / make money. But again, if you've got a hobby that a lot of people follow, that there's potentially money in it, write it down. So write out 10 niches. Start writing out problems that you can solve for those customers in those niches. So this is homework for you as well, Dalton.
Okay.
And these can end up being blog posts. These can end up being products. But the purpose of your business and your blog is to solve people's problems and get paid for it. So ultimately, this is where you're going to start. So write out a list of the problems that you can solve for these customers. Create a target market or your customer avatar that you're going to be selling to. And then, last question I forgot to say. What do you want your readers to achieve this year? You don't have to answer this right away, but it's a good kind of back of your mind. I know for my blog, not only do I want to make $100,000, I want to help 1,000 people get their start online in something that they're passionate about. I want them to share their gifts with the world. So I want to help 1,000 people do that. And I want to help 50 people leave their job this year and make a full-time income doing what they're passionate about. So that's it. That's my overarching theme for the year for the blog. And all of my content is going to be, surrounding helping those 1,000 and helping those 50 people make some money. So that's it. I think we're going to wrap it up. I know this one is, half an hour probably, getting up to there. We'll be doing these once a week. If you guys have any questions or if you even want to be a guest on the show, I would love to hear from you guys. Again, this is D1. We've got Dalton here. Dalton is at achievingpeakpotential.com. And again, my blog is dewanbayney.com. It's going to be really rough. This is going to be a ton of fun. You're going to literally see us grow our businesses from 0 to 100K this year. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Peace.